While
This is
everyone's panicking about AI replacing doctors and nurses, healthcare companies are desperately paying premium rates for clinical professionals who can do this one thing. The demand is so high, it's created a seller's market. I'm going to tell you exactly what that one thing is and why your clinical background just became your ticket to financial freedom and career control. But first, let me show you what's really happening behind closed doors. Here's what AI companies discovered the hard way. Brilliant engineers mean absolutely nothing if the technology doesn't work in real hospitals with real patients. Recently, a CEO who spent $2 million developing a surgical AI system said this. It looked incredible in laboratory testing, perfect accuracy, impressive speed, flawless technical performance. Then they tried it in the actual operating rooms and it failed miserably.
this is
The AI couldn't handle the real communication patterns between surgeons and nurses. It didn't understand the subtle hand signals, the contextual requests, the way surgical teams actually coordinate under pressure. This failure taught healthcare companies a critical lesson. They need clinical professionals who can bridge the gap between impressive technology and actual patient care. Your clinical expertise includes things that are impossible to learn in any classroom. How healthcare teams communicate during emergencies, how nurses coordinate care under impossible pressure, how doctors make split second decisions that save lives, how patients actually move through a healthcare system. This knowledge is worth its weight in gold to AI companies, and they're paying accordingly. Right now, there are more opportunities than qualified clinical professionals to fill them. Let me break down what the seller's market looks like. AI
this is
implementation specialists. These roles pay between $120,000 to $180,000 a year because you guide healthcare organizations in deploying systems that actually work in clinical settings. Clinical AI trainer. You literally teach AI systems to recognize the patterns you used at the bedside. Companies are paying $100,000 to $150,000 a year for this because your pattern recognition skills are impossible to replicate. Ambient intelligence consultant. You help optimize AI workflows to improve both patient care and provider satisfaction. These consulting rates start at $150 an hour. Product development partner. You ensure AI tools meet clinical needs rather than just technical specifications. These positions offer equity packages worth hundreds of thousands. Here's the beautiful part. Your clinical expertise is the hard part to acquire. Technical skills you need build naturally on what you already know. You already understand clinical decision-making process, patient safety protocols, healthcare team dynamics, and regulatory compliance. That's the valuable knowledge that takes years to develop. What you can learn quickly is basic AI concepts, healthcare data standards, and project management. Most successful clinical professionals in AI didn't start with computer science degrees. They started with deep clinical knowledge. I know
this
nurses
is
who went from bedside to AI implementation roles in 6 months. I know doctors who became clinical AI consultants while maintaining their part time practice. Let me tell you about Dr. Martinez, an emergency physician who discovered how valuable his clinical expertise really was. An AI company approached him because their sepsis detection systems were missing cases that experienced doctors and nurses caught immediately. The AI could analyze vital signs perfectly, but it couldn't recognize the subtle patterns that clinical professionals see instinctively. Dr. Martinez taught the AI system to identify a combination of symptoms he'd look for, not just vital signs, but patient behavior, skin color changes, and verbal responses. Now that system helps emergency departments nationwide catch sepsis hours earlier than traditional protocols. Dr. Martinez's clinical judgment got amplified across entire healthcare networks. And here's the kicker. He's now the chief clinical officer for that AI company, making more money than he ever did in clinical practice with complete control over his schedule. This is all happening because we're entering what Microsoft calls a new era of ambient intelligence in healthcare. These are AI systems that work invisibly in the background, capturing and processing patient data without interrupting your workflow. Think of it as having an intelligent assistant that understands medical conversations. But here's what they don't tell you. Ambient intelligence doesn't replace clinical professionals. It makes your expertise more valuable because these systems need clinical professionals to guide the implementations. The clinical professionals who understand how to leverage ambient intelligence are becoming the most sought after people in healthcare. Your clinical credibility opens doors that technical consultants simply can't access. Healthcare leaders trust clinical professionals to understand both the technology and the patient care implications. That trust translates directly into premium compensation and career opportunities. So here's that one thing I promised to tell you about. Healthcare companies desperately need clinical professionals who can make AI actually work for patients instead of just impressing engineers. This isn't about replacing your clinical skills, it's about amplifying them. When you teach an AI system to recognize the patterns you use at the bedside, you're potentially saving thousands of lives instead of one patient at a time. The technical revolution in healthcare needs clinical professionals who understand that technology should enhance patient connection, not replace it. Your safety intuition prevents AI systems from making dangerous errors. Your workflow knowledge ensures that technology actually improves patient care. Your pattern recognition teaches AI systems what really matters. Companies are paying premium rates because this knowledge is rare, valuable, and impossible to replicate without clinical experience. You have two choices right now. You can watch the ambient intelligence revolution transform healthcare from the sidelines, or you can actively participate in shaping how it serves patients and providers. The clinical professionals who engage with this transformation early will not only shape the future of healthcare, they'll command the highest salaries and have the most career control. If you're ready to leverage your clinical experience to create the kind of career you've always wanted, more money, more freedom, more impact, I want to help you make that transition. I work with clinical professionals every day who are making this exact transition. In the comments below, tell me what type of clinical background you have: nurse, doctor, allied health professional, and what appeals to you most about working in healthcare AI. If you want to learn exactly how to position your clinical expertise for these high-paying AI roles, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm releasing a complete guide next week on how to transition from bedside to AI implementation roles. Your clinical expertise isn't becoming obsolete. It's becoming the secret weapon that makes AI actually work in healthcare. The question is, are you ready to cash in on that experience?